you doing, guys? King Size Customs here, back with a trucking video for you. So, what I want to say to start this video off is be decent to each other. Here is where I try to check and see if the video is recording. Intro music provided to you by Garage's Customs. Garage helped me out and hooked me up with this instrumental here. Some of you older guys might know where the instrumental's from. But let me get to the topic of this video about being decent to each other. So, I listen to National Public Radio, like probably maybe only a few of you guys. It's in the car when my mom's driving. We listen to NPR, and one of the shows that we listen to is Fresh Air with Terry Gross. And one of the most infamous interviews is her interview with Gene Simmons. I forget what it was. He was writing a book. I don't know what it is. So I don't really follow Gene Simmons because he's a jerk. So listening to this interview while recording this video, believe it or not, the driving video, I heard a lot of things, and he just wanted to talk about one thing in particular, his lifestyle. He didn't want to say anything about the book, and he thought that NPR was boring. And I can get that, talking for a long, long time. Yeah, it gets boring, but hey, it's NPR. You get informed slightly. Well, it depends what you're listening for. You get informed. I like NPR. I got nothing wrong with National Public Radio, but that's not the topic of this video anyway. The thing is, Gene Simmons, he likes to talk about himself and claims that, I'm this way because all men are this way, which to me is wrong. I'm a man and I'm not like Gene Simmons at all. But anyway, the main thing is, and what got me talking about this was, he actually sent me down a rabbit hole of people who try to interview Gene Simmons, and it doesn't go well. So, I watched Bert Kreischer talk about trying to interview Gene Simmons. I watched him, and then I watched him on like the Joy something show, HLN. It was on YouTube anyway. So, but about that, be decent to each other, and people will be decent to you. Gene Simmons he's a jerk. He likes to promote himself. He talks about his lifestyle, and then he's like, oh, but that's the nature of the beast. That's everything. I'm a man, and man has this way, and man will always be like, no, don't give me that, because there will always be men and women, and we don't share those same classical, I don't even know how to describe it. Let's just say Gene Simmons is not a nice person. He's not a guy you invite to a dinner party or a gathering because the whole conversation will be about him. I don't get it, man. You gotta be decent. People should be decent to each other. This goes back to my video that I made a couple of days ago that I made after recording this, before recording this, about how most people don't want to be unique. I did a little experiment while waiting at my doctor's office, waiting for my bus. I said hello to one person who walked in the door. They said hello, and they asked what I was doing. I was watching my phone at the time. I went, yeah, I'm watching TV. And then 3 more people come in, and I don't say anything, and nothing happens. So this also brings me back to, this has been going on for about a month. So I waved to my neighbor, who we all, not all of us, but he's a little, he can be a little standoffish. You guys kind of realize I live in a bit of a small town. Well, I think it's like a small town. It's a blue-collar area. But the thing about it is, this guy's an avid hunter. I found out he's a avid bow hunter, which is pretty cool. But he has antlers on his shed, and he's got a deer decoy now, and then he also had a panther decoy when we lived when we first moved in, and he would have it coming like out of this little marshy area. But I waved to him, and I'm like, all right, this guy's probably not going to do anything, probably just going to be standoffish. So about 3 weeks later, after waving to him, I'm walking back from my mailbox, and I'm walking home, and I gotta walk in front of his house. That way I can see traffic that's coming towards me. And he comes out and he's like, hey man, what's your name? I'm so-and-so. And we had like a 10-minute conversation. If I hadn't waved to that guy, and again, this goes back to being decent, I probably would have never talked to this guy, and I probably would have kept up my assumptions about, okay, this guy's real standoffish. No. See, that's the other thing. If we just treat people how we like to be treated, if we act like people are people and not something, an object for our frustration or hate, people probably won't be as... I forget where I'm going with that, but I think you guys can pick up the pieces that I'm putting down to assemble the rest of the puzzle here. I just treat people decently is all I want to say, really. Because, I like to be treated nicely. I like to be treated like I'm not a science fair project. To be gawked at. It's better if you just come up to me and have a conversation. I understand, though, that, like I said previously, I'm a scary-looking person. I was in the comments, Garages Customs, the guy who gave us the intro here, actually said, holy smokes, you're 6'4"? I went, well, I'm 6'2", but most people think I'm 6'4". I'm a big guy. I'm pretty broad at the shoulder. It was funny the first time, and I also read this in the comment, it was kind of funny the first time I saw, when I, had my growth spurt and I'm looking eye to eye at a police officer. It was pretty funny. And then some of them I'm looking eye to hat, but it's besides the point. I'm still a tall guy. And also, due to being visually impaired, I have this permanent scowl on my face. I gotta force a smile. I gotta think happy thoughts and try to laugh a little bit to force a smile. I know it's sad, but that's probably also why people are afraid of me sometimes. Yeah, you got nervous too. It looked like we were going to wreck, but apparently I'm a better driver than I thought. The only thing is I'm not great at downshifting, and you'll see. We start losing momentum here. So, but yeah, just treat people decently. The other thing, though, is don't be phony about it. There was a time, and this is a friend of a friend who was talking to my friend, and, he was super, super fake. And I could just see it. So I called the guy out about it. And then, a few minutes later, this was at lunchtime in high school, we go back to the same class, and he's like, dude, what was with you and so-and-so? And I'm like, well, this guy's super fake. He's only trying to... I don't want to sound like I'm jealous or anything, but this dude's kind of fake. And I don't think he has the best intentions. I think he's trying to brag to you about something. And he kind of used you, dude. Not that you probably don't know that already, but I called him out about it, and then, well, here we are about 2013, about 6 years later, and, well, we can kind of see, well, you guys don't know this, and I'm saying well a lot. Turns out, this guy doesn't speak to my friend doesn't speak to that guy. I kind of knew that this wasn't really going to last, and that the friend of my friend was using my friend. But, whatever. That was high school. That was 6 years ago. I can't believe it's 2019 anyway, man. It's funny how the world, well, it's not funny. The time keeps marching on, but it never turns around to see if everybody else is in step. I forget where I took that from, but it's kind of how I'll start. It's kind of how I'm going to approach things. Time marches on. You got to march along with time. I'm not saying that you can't sit back and remember things or, have those look back on your fond memories, but just keep in mind that time does march on. Time waits for no one. But yeah, just be decent to each other. Don't be phony. And that's going to be my closing statement here. Be decent to each other. Now, the reason why I want to adopt a ending saying here is I watch a lot of YouTube videos, and one of my favorites, the dude says, and always wear your seatbelt, which I think is very important for drivers and passengers alone. I'm not going to lie, there's been times where I haven't worn my seatbelt, and it was scary. It was fun, but it was scary. Shoot, especially in the paratransit bus. There was one time where I couldn't wear my seatbelt because the person I was sitting next to was sitting on it. And they weren't verbal, and I didn't feel like saying, "Hey, you're sitting on my seatbelt." So, of course, and I'm the first person off, first person on, last person on this bus, first person off. Like, I also really don't enjoy riding paratransit, but it really does beat the alternative of walking everywhere or having to walk 4 miles to a bus stop to try and get to my location on time. What else can you do, man? I wish I could drive. That'd be really nice. But, if it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. Of course, you guys know I drive a lot in here. Okay, I know we're falling flat here, and I know where there's long pauses where I'm not speaking. I kind of want to gather your ideas. I kind of want you to gather your ideas as I'm gathering mine. Going back to being decent with people. You know, again, I said it. Okay, I'll say it again. I don't want to be like a science fair project here. I'd rather that people come up and talk to me than stare at me, but part of that is it's a two-way street. If I don't say anything and I just stare at people, yeah, I'm pretty sure I look pretty scary. And that's probably not the best thing to do. Here's where we start losing momentum here and just gotta switch gears. But yeah, it's probably not the best thing to do. The most disarming thing is to smile and say hello. My mom worked at a little, well, it's not a local. My mom worked at a dollar store for a little bit, and one of the things in her training was say hello to every customer that walks by and look them in the eye, because that is one of the most disarming things. It gives acknowledgement. It shows the person that you're talking to that you acknowledge their existence, which I like that. So I'm going to start working on that. I think I said my experience with my doctor's appointment about how I said hello to one person, and I said hello back, and they asked me what I was doing. And then I let 3 other people go by without saying anything. For me, it's got to be a habit, though. I got to learn how to get in the habit of saying hello to everyone. And just saying hello is just saying hello. Don't be over dramatic about it. Don't be like, "Oh, hi, how are you doing?" No, just say, "Hi, how are you?" But I don't think a lot of you guys have the same, let's say, experience as I do. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys are more well-adjusted than I am. I know reading the comments from Garage It on the last video, that was pretty cool how you talk about going to Walmart and buying cars every week. You embrace it. That's another thing hobbies are good for, though. They let you escape a little bit. I mean, this trucking lets me escape a lot. I don't know, it's hard to explain. I kind of just, and I think I've said this before, I kind of just turn off. I don't really focus on anything but the road ahead of me. The shifting and, you know, as you guys can tell, this is a 18-speed manual. That's more robotic. It's more like second nature to me. I mean, I watch this and I'm like, oh wow, I hope I slow down in time. And then I hear that, you know, I drop it into a lower gear. And then even here, you hear the Jake brake in the background. Yeah, that all was second nature. I really wasn't thinking about it. I looked at the GPS. I knew hit the turn signal, hit the Jake brake, and try to slow down a bit because you're coming up on a curve. it really just let me forget that, oh hey, I made a video talking about nobody wants to be unique, even though all these people keep sharing that. The other thing too is, what I really wanted to say with that video, and I'll say it here. So I lost what I was saying because my computer did something weird, but I'm trying to keep the video all concise and together, which is probably an exercise of futility, but hey, the show must go on. We're at about 15 minutes here out of about 22, so about 6 more minutes here. But I went back and listened to some of the audio, and yeah, I won't take back what I said about Gene Simmons. You know, I really don't feel bad. Anybody who listens to the man at an interview or hears his stories knows that he's not a decent guy. Some people who are probably great people, but I won't say, I won't stand by this, but, well, let's not go there. I listen to a lot of interviews, and most people are nice. Most people are very accommodating to the interviewer. Heck, I'd like to be interviewed, but I gotta find something that's worth interviewing about, something that's worth talent, something that really provides people with enjoyment. I know. I gotta stop being so self-deprecating. There's people who watch this who probably don't even know that the guy who's sitting behind the microphone is actually doing car videos too, little Hot Wheels videos. But, hey, can't really complain. But what I do want to take from this, though, is that I'm not trying to make fun of people. I use people to base how I should behave off of how they are. Gene Simmons is the guy who I look at and say, well, I don't ever want to be accused of being like that guy. Because that's just not me. I'm just not that person. Not too much longer now. We're getting to our destination. I want to say a big thanks to everybody who watches this video. Huge thanks to Roger for the instrumental. Roger's also going to be hooking me up with some other songs to kind of get around copyright. I know I'm kind of using the music for not commercial gain, but I want it to just have a good video. I'm still getting used to working out the microphone again. This is season 2, episode 2. I probably will try to write a script, write down some thoughts. Not a script, because the last time I tried to do that, a reading from a script didn't work for me. But it was a bit of a springboard, so I'll probably have some notes here to write from or to pull from. That way the video doesn't just drag on. So, here's the end. I'll leave you with the song. And, later, guys. Also, by the way, be decent to each other.